Hey everyone, welcome back to In the Alley. My name is Cody. Glad you guys are back for another video. Second half of our Week 17 Saturday recaps. Yeah, it's getting out late because Week 18 is already here, so a lot of people probably don't care, but at the same time, I made a goal to myself to get the recaps and previews done every single week as much as I could, and I have not failed on that yet. I've had to do a lot of catching up, but this week is no different. So with that, let's go talk about it. Kicking off the second half of recaps in Week 17, and I literally mean kicking it off because Andrew Mevis is going to get us started in this one with a game-opening deuce. And Quad City is going to answer back, well, not really. They're going to take the ball and answer with a fumble. Jared Ware off the left side. Green Bay is going to recover it and setting themselves up nicely. Blizzard work it to a 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. Motion handoff to the left side, getting to the edge and diving across the goal line goes Andre Williams. And then 4th and 10, a drive stalls out for the Quad City Steamwheelers. They need points though. Kyle Kaplan will deliver that 37-yard field goal up and good. Still in the first quarter here, 3.5 to play here. RPO taking it wide open. Andre Williams again. 2nd and 8 here, start of the second quarter for the Steamwheelers. Rush up the middle, quarterback draw. DeQuan Neal takes it in from 13 yards. 12.5 to play next possession for the Blizzard, and a little bit of defense for the Steamwheelers as they are able to get to Max Myler and bring him down for a loss. Won't mean anything though. 1st and goal from the 2. Green Bay works it. RPO keeper for Max Myler up the middle and in. Trading touchdowns. DeQuan Neal is going to have a motion handoff for Jared Ware up the middle for 2 yards. And then 4th and 2 from the 2-yard line, or 4th and goal from the 2. Max Myler says, I've done it once, I'll do it twice, but this time to the outside. Touchdown. At the 1-minute warning, it's a surprise onside kick for Green Bay. Quad City not phased and not touched. Cameron Harrell takes it in from 7 yards out. And if you want more Cameron Harrell highlights, you've got them. It's going to be Max Myler going through his progressions, trying to evade the pressure, and tipped, intercepted before the half. 4th and goal at the 1, simple. Max Myler is just going to take this in for his 3rd rushing touchdown of the night. And then Quad City trying to get back into this one. Less than 5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. It is going to be a high snap, under pressure, off his back foot. DeQuan Neal just lofts us in the air, and Mamadou Mbai picks it off for the Blizzard. Start of the 4th quarter here, 3rd and 5 for Quad City. They need points. They're down by 2 possessions, but it won't be for long. Tamari and Terry splitting the defenders, taking this from 40 yards for the touchdown catch. But Green Bay will answer right back. It is just a 6-point game, but Max Myler will have his own wide receiver split some defenders. Lil Patron takes it in. 10.5 to play here, 13-point deficit, and again, Tamari and Terry is going to say, well, let's make it a 1-possession game, this time from just 31 yards out, but he goes down the sideline, takes another touchdown. 7 minutes to play here. It is back to a 6-point game. Max Myler goes through his progressions over the middle. He's not touched. Someone touch him. TJ Davis gets up. He's going to cross that goal line for 28 yards out. Just back and forth we go here, each team trading touchdown. Deion McShane gets in on the action from 9 yards out. Green Bay, though, they will answer right back. It is back to a 6-point game, and we will just see Green Bay extend that lead back to 13. Max Myler finds Jalen Cagle wide open. Quad City will answer. 30 seconds to go here, 13-point deficit, back to 6 for Jared Ware. Onside kick, you need it, you need a touchdown, and neither of those will happen. Green Bay is going to pick this one up, 58-52, your final. A rematch of last year's Western Conference Championship, San Diego and Arizona getting it going. Rudy Johnson, your Wildcat quarterback, just off the left side from a yard out. And then Ernesto Lacayo is going to kick a deuce to extend that lead 9-0 San Diego. It's all San Diego early on in this one. 9-0 is your score. Dalton Snead's going to look over the middle, intercepted by Cyrus Fagan as the Strike Force take over. And then 4th and 2 from the 2-yard line. It is a Nate Davis running alert. A little bit of a momentum shift in this. Ernesto Lacayo on the ensuing kickoff. It is going to be taken by Ron Brown Jr. from the 1-yard line. He's going to find some creases. He's going to break, shift, juke, do whatever he's got to do and take it down that sideline. 49 yards, house call. San Diego will answer right back though on their next possession. 9 minutes to play in the first half. Just a nice little route for Dallas Daniels and a score. 22-7 in favor of San Diego. A little RPO keeper off the left side. Dalton Snead takes it in from 3 yards out. And then the ensuing kickoff for the Rattlers, well, we've already seen one kickoff return in this game. How about another? Devin Hafford, the former Massachusetts Pirate, he's going to take this all the way 50 yards coast to coast. We have another house call. Less than 10 seconds to play here in the first half. First and goal from the 7. Jamal Miles with the catch. Did he break the plane? Replay will show yes, he did. We take it to the third quarter now. About halfway through the third quarter, it's a Sneed to Reed connection. Corey Reed with the score, 29-27. Next drive for the Strike Force. It is going to be motion men. Davis airing this out. Dallas Daniels wide open, 33-yard touchdown bomb. Start of the fourth quarter for the Rattlers. Third and goal from the 5-yard line. Men go in motion. Dalton Sneed's going to roll out. He's going to drop back, throw. It is wide open. Johannes Tyler. 9 minutes to play in the game, sending their men in motion. The Arizona Rattlers down by 3. Sneed is going to air this out on third and long. Corey Reed comes away with it, 26-yard touchdown. And then working their way to the 1-yard line, third and goal. Edward Vander just takes it up the middle and in. Back in the lead, go San Diego. Under the 1-minute warning, down by 4. Sneed over the middle. It is caught by Johannes Tyler. They take the lead. And then San Diego works it to the 1-yard line, fourth and goal from the 1. It is a rollout, and they can't get it in. 46-43, Arizona clinches a playoff berth at home. Final recap, we take it to Prescott Valley, Arizona, where the Sugar Skulls and the Wranglers are going. It's going to be Devontae Sapp-Lynch pushing the pile for an 8-yard touchdown. Push the pile. It is an 8-yard touchdown. There you go. He breaks the plane. It's a touchdown. We go under 2 minutes, almost a minute left in the first quarter here. Northern Arizona's turn to respond. Marlon Cook, 24 yards wide open. He takes it in. Start of the second quarter, we are tied at 7. Men go in motion and a simple out route. Drew Dixon wide open, 5-yard touchdown pass. Wranglers will respond, though. It is going to be second and goal from the 9-yard line. Over the middle, Arlen Bruce is open. He takes it in from 9 yards out. They take a 1-point lead. Tucson's drive stalls out, 4th and 10. No problem for Kevin Macias. 25-yard field goal is up, and it is good, 16-14. But it won't be a lead for long. A motion handoff to the left side. Deshaun Stoudemire takes it in from 5 yards out, 22-16, Wranglers. Another drive stalling out for Tucson, but this time in way of a turnover. Reyna's going to look to Harrington. He's going to catch it. Ball's going to pop free. It's going to be recovered by the Wranglers, and they get set up nicely at midfield. And then under 30 seconds left in the first half, 2nd and 11 for the Wranglers. Catch for Marlon Cook. He has his second touchdown of the night. Final points of the first half here. 2 seconds left in this one. From 42 yards out, Kevin Macias is going to have the snap down, the kick up. It is going to go through the uprights, 28-19. To the second half at reverse for Arlen Bruce. He's going to take it in from 3 yards out. Wranglers lead it big. Sugar Skulls looking to get back into it. It's going to be Reyna from a 1-yard rush touchdown to make it a 9-point game. The 9-point game will be less than that. It'll be a touchdown, as it is a deuce from Kevin Macias, 35-28. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Men in motion, 7-point lead. It is going to be more than that. Nolan Susel busts off 2-3 tackles, another tackle, and down the sideline he goes. A 37-yard rushing score. However, it will be Tucson answering right back. It is going to be Reyna throwing a wide open Drew Dixon from 12 yards out, back to a 1 score. 4th and 4 for the Wranglers here, trying to get back to a 2-possession lead, and they will. Ramon Atkins lofts this to a wide open Deshaun Stoudemire. And then with less than 10 minutes to play here, it's a 14-point lead. Reyna's going to try and step up in the pocket. He is going down for a sack. 4th and 7 for the Sugar Skulls. Reyna's going to take the snap. He's going to drop back. He can't find anyone. He's going to have time and eventually run out of it. He's going to throw off of his back foot into the end zone. It's going to be intercepted by Jordan Wickware as Northern Arizona has another turnover. And then with 5.5 to play, Tucson takes the ball back. It's going to be thrown over the middle wide open as Drew Dixon with another touchdown. Both wide receivers have stolen the show for both teams, and this one's no different. Stoudemire again behind the defense, 30-yard touchdown reception for the Wranglers. And then Jorge Reyna is going to run out of time, feel the pressure. I don't know why he's doing this, but he falls down for a huge loss. All right, 1-minute warning. 4th and 46 here, and it is going to be Reyna stepping up in the pocket, chucking a prayer, and Drew Dixon right there. 43-yard touchdown reception, 1-possession game again. 3rd and 2 for the Wranglers, 42 seconds left, 7-point lead. It is Deshaun Stoudemire for the final time tonight, 23-yard touchdown reception. Tucson will answer back 24 seconds. They need something. Devontae Sapp-Lynch will get that something. Random pressured. Sapp-Lynch pulls it away from the defender and takes it in. Like most games tonight, they just need an onside kick to recover and see if they can answer that prayer, but they won't. 61-55, your final. All right, we have seen the touchdowns, tackles, turnovers, sacks, highlights, lowlights, anything and everything included in this one. This was a fun game, and as I said in the previous video, the part 1, I took these stats, so if they're accurate, cool. If they're not, cool. But I've just seen a lot of discrepancies in the Indoor Football League stuff, so I tried my hand this week at doing all of the stats and the week prior, the 4th of July weekend, and had a lot of fun doing it. I don't think I'm going to do it for these next 2 weeks, but it's fun to kind of, stat keep and stuff along those lines. So let's talk about it. We have a 58-52 victory in favor of the Green Bay Blizzard. It wasn't necessarily low scoring, but it was kind of low scoring until that fourth quarter, and Green Bay, they just took advantage. They took advantage of some of the mistakes that Quad City made. Yes, there was a couple of injuries for Quad City too. I'm not going to use that as an excuse, but Quad City themselves, they just could not get over the hump. They'd get it within 6 points. They, would make it a close game, and there was no stop that they could do. Green Bay would just answer back with a touchdown. They would answer back with a field goal, or not a field goal, but like the deuce or whatever. Like they would just have an answer for everything Quad City did. So let's talk about the left side of the screen. Max Miler, 16 of 21, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 pick. He's also your leading rusher, 17 carries, 61 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7 total touchdowns for him. He has put together one hell of a season right now, and I'm not sure what the inner circles are saying when it comes to MVP candidacy, but he's got to be up there, man. He's put together another really, really good season, rushing and throwing. I digress. TJ Davis, 5 catches, 88 yards, 1 receiving touchdown. Over to the Quad City Steamwheelers, 14 of 21, 192 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He's also your leading rusher, 5 carries for 30 yards and 1 touchdown. And Tamarian Terry, 4 catches, 95 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 really long touchdowns. So, taking a look over at the right side, neither team too great on third down. They were all right, 50% and 60%. Fourth down efficiency, I believe that fourth down, the 1-for-1 for Quad City was that field goal, and then 2-for-3 for Green Bay. It might have been that missed field goal, but then 2-for-2 when they were able to convert. Total yards favored the Blizzard, and they kind of corralled, and when I mean like 84 yards for Quad City, who is a very balanced offense, just like Green Bay. Both teams can throw the ball, both teams can run the ball. They're both pretty good at both. But the stats are really, really even. However, only 16 rushing attempts for Quad City, 5 of them for Daquan Neal, and ultimately it was kind of the Jared Ware show. He did have 2 rushing touchdowns, 7 carries, 27 yards, and then Daquan Dudley right behind him as well. Passing, though, this is the biggest one. Passing, though, 4 passing touchdowns for Max Miler, 88 receiving yards for TJ Davis, but he was able to throw it to multiple wide receivers. Daquan Neal was as well, but Max Miler was able to spread the ball around quite a bit. 4 touchdowns for 4 different wide receivers in this game, and then, like I said, 7 total touchdowns for Miler. It was one hell of a game. Let's take a look at some of the notes that I have. Mevis opens the game with a deuce. Quad City runs it well until Ware fumbles and gets hit. Green Bay recovers, and he was kind of shaken up after that play. Blizzard turned the fumble into points. Williams on a motion handoff left side for 6. Steamwheelers offense slow to start once again. Kaplan bails them out with a field goal. Green Bay takes over. They have a nice drive. Rush, pass with Williams connecting on a 15-yard touchdown catch. And somewhere in this range, Bubba Arslanian did get hurt, and I can't remember if he got back into the game or not, but they had to move some players around to fill that linebacker hole. Green Bay just kind of exploited it. Huge catch by Jalen Cagle Davis. They set up Miler for a 2-yard touchdown rush. Quad City is able to run the ball. Jared Ware comes back into the game after getting shaken up with a 2-yard touchdown. They pull back within 6, but Jared Ware, he was running well, but dare I say he didn't look 100%. He looked close, but you could tell like something was kind of nagging him. Blizzard next drive helps out by Quad City penalties, but Green Bay's offense is too good. Myler again, 2-yard out, touchdown. Onside for Green Bay, Cam Harrell recovers. Apparently he's not touched, shakes off defenders, gets into the end zone. On the verge of scoring, Max Myler throws a pick to Cam Harrell right before halftime, so there's the interception. Blizzard get the ball to start the second half, promptly go down the field. Max Myler again. Steve Wheeler's work it downfield. Daquan Dudley has a nice drive, but Daquan Neal lofts a pass off his back foot. Mamadou Mbai picks it off. Green Bay can't do anything with it, though. Mevis misses a field goal. And then Tamorrion Terry between two defenders and into the end zone. That was a beautiful touchdown. And I'm wondering at this point, can Quad City get a stop? Nope. Patron kind of does the same thing. Splits defenders. They score right back. Terry does it again. Steam Wheelers have another touchdown. Back and forth. Quad City just can't get a stop. Green Bay keeps doing it to them. They pass really, really well. Peterson has a catch. TJ Davis has a catch. And it's a 28-yard touchdown. I mean, that might do it at that point. Quad City answers back. Deion McShane has 2 big catches. One of them is a touchdown. Green Bay, they take the ball, do the exact same thing. They march down the field with Jalen Cagle doing most of the work. Touchdown catches his reward. That's got to be game at that point. Jared Ware says not so fast. He has a big catch and a run to the 5, and then he's rewarded his own way. He rushes it in. Onside kick, though, they don't get it. Green Bay recovers, 58-52. Blizzard take the victory. So again, like I said earlier, Quad City just couldn't get the stop necessary. Green Bay was able to answer every single time Quad City answered back, and we just had a really, really nice back and forth affair. Turnovers didn't help Quad City. I know Green Bay had a turnover themselves, but at the same time, it was just one of those things where Quad City just kind of were done in by their own mistakes, and their defense couldn't get off the field. So there you have it, 58-52, and Green Bay right now sitting at the number 2 seed. So let's go take a look at our second of 3 recaps. All right, so we have seen the touchdowns, tackles, turnovers, sacks, anything and everything included. We had a nice, fun game in this one. Let's talk some stats. Let's form some narratives. Let's go from that. And I'll reiterate, like I have in every single recap when it comes to this point, I personally have taken these stats. These are not from the Indoor Football League website. So are there discrepancies? Probably. But there are some things that I did see on the Indoor Football League website that were wrong, that I have here corrected in a sense. So they might show up, they might not. It might be some behind the scenes things. But regardless, let's take a look. Stats over the face. Let's dive in. We have a 46-43 victory, a comeback victory for the Arizona Rattlers. It's just that Kevin Guy Devil magic. Like I said in the preview, man, it was just more of the same when it came to that. And San Diego had them, I wouldn't say up against the ropes, but San Diego was winning this game so well, and they just let Arizona get back into it. There are so many times Arizona was able to stand tall, and what can you say? What can you say? Arizona this season has been living on the edge with some of these comebacks, winning close, losing close, just some of the things that they have done, and it is, it makes me mad, but it doesn't, because I have to respect it. But let's take a look at the game leaders on the left side. Nate Davis, 7 of 16, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not the best day at the office, but 2 of those 7 completions were touchdowns. Rudy Johnson, 10 carries for 19 yards, 1 touchdown. And Dallas Daniels, the recipient of those 2 touchdowns, 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 77 receiving yards. Dalton Snead, again, not the best day at the office for him either. 13 of 25, 133. He did throw 5 touchdowns, though, so you got to give credit there. 1 interception. He is your leading rusher, 10 carries, 50 yards, and 1 rushing touchdown. And Jamal Miles caught over half of those balls, 7 receptions, 64 yards, and 1 touchdown. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side, 9 for 12, and that's a huge thing that stood out for me. 9 for 12 for Arizona, and when they did not get that 3rd down, they were 3 for 3 on 4th down. So I said this in a previous one, it's a quasi way of kind of being 100% on your conversions. If you didn't get it on a 3rd down, you got it on a 4th down, you were able to move the chains in almost every capacity. So even if you didn't get it 3rd down, 4th down, you converted. Not so much for San Diego, 5 for 10, so still 50%. That's kind of what I shoot for. I shoot for a little bit over that personally, but I'm not a coach. But anyway, 2 for 4 on 4th down, so they were able to convert a little bit. Total yards favored the Rattlers. We know San Diego doesn't really run the ball that much. They did try and run it, though. 21 rushing attempts for only 37 yards. But some of those rushing attempts were your, Nate Davis running alerts, your 1 yard rushing touchdown and what have you. Passing, again, favored Dalton Snead and the Rattlers. They were able to pass it for just a little bit more yards, but they did throw it a little bit more. So, penalties. That was a big thing in this one, too. Quite a bit of penalties on both sides, just some kind of boneheaded plays. Was this the one? No, it was the one we'll talk about later, the next one that had the funny penalty. We'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, turnovers, just the one interception to kind of start the game for Arizona. Other than that, there weren't really any turnovers to speak of, and we start that pretty early here. For Arizona, taking a look at kind of these offensive stats, Dalton Snead's your leading rusher, but Ron Brown did have 38 yards on the ground as well. And then only 3 players caught passes from what I could tell. Jamal Miles, Corey Reed, and Johannes Tyler, but all of them caught touchdowns. So you spread the ball out a little bit, and you knew who you were throwing it to. So kudos where that is due. Same thing with San Diego. Only 3 guys caught passes, and Dallas Daniels caught 5, Edward Vander caught 1, and Shane Hooks caught 1. So you were throwing it to really one guy all game, and that's maybe where Arizona started to zero in. And you only completed 7 passes, so what can you do? Taking a look at some of these notes that I have written down. Opening drive for San Diego has a huge Vander catch and run. Rudy Johnson with a touchdown rush for 1 yard. So again, they did rush the ball just 1 yard at a time. Rattlers move past midfield. Snead throws to Cyrus Fagan for an interception. Strikeforce take the turnover, turn it into a Nate Davis rushing alert. He has a touchdown. Arizona gets on the board, though. Ron Brown house call, 49-yard kick return. And I forgot there's a deuce in there. Ernesto Lacayo hit a deuce after that first touchdown. So at one point it was 16-0. Big third down catch from Maldonado, followed by Daniels hauling in a long touchdown. So there's my own discrepancy. I had Maldonado on here at one point, but I think I didn't have him written down as a catch. So there's a mistake for me. Rattlers helped out by San Diego penalties. Snead rushes in for a touchdown. San Diego has their own kick return touchdown. Hafford takes it coast to coast. Rattlers take most of the remaining time because of penalties. Miles has a catch that breaks the play and touchdown Arizona. And then before halftime, Lacayo comes out for a field goal and he misses it. Strong opening for Arizona in the second half. They take a lot of time. Reed has a touchdown catch. Davis finds Dallas Daniels for a streaking touchdown. Punch, meet, counter punch. Arizona marches downfield. Defensive pass interference on San Diego helps out. Snead hits Johannes Tyler for a touchdown. Surprise onside kick is recovered by the Strikeforce. Rattlers bring the pressure and force a turnover on downs. Arizona has a chance to take the lead here, and they will. Snead to Reed. It's a connection. Arizona does, in fact, take the lead. Another onside attempt. Why? And San Diego recovers again. Vander rushes in for a score. Rattlers with possession. They work down the field in chunk plays. Snead to Johannes Tyler again. Arizona takes the lead for another go-around. And then another onside kick for Arizona. 3 onside kicks. It sets San Diego up nicely, but guess what? Strikeforce get to the 1 yard line. Arizona denies them entry. Rattlers take the victory. They clinch a playoff berth. So 46-43, Arizona has to come back in this one. San Diego just lets it slip away from them late in this one. And just again, some turnover on downs and some very lucky breaks for Arizona. San Diego couldn't convert when it came, short yardage and onside kicks. So what can you do? But anyway, let's go take a look at our bets. We'll get out of here. All right, I lied. We still have one more recap to do. I thought we were done, but we still have one more. And this one was actually a really fun back and forth game. But anyway, I thought we were done. So don't check out the bets just yet. We got to go through this one first. But what a doozy this one was. The spiel. Touchdowns, tackles, sacks, turnovers, everything. Anything. Let's take a look at the stats. Yada, yada, yada. Stats over the face. Tucson and Northern Arizona. Let's go. We have a 61-55 victory in favor of the Northern Arizona Wranglers. This one was a fun back and forth game. Just both teams kind of relentless. Tucson able to kind of come back a little bit, make it close, and then just one of these games where a team just couldn't get over the hump. We talked about it earlier with Quad City and Green Bay, which go check that out if you haven't, but just one of these games where a team just couldn't get over the hump. Taking a look at the game leaders on the left side, Jorge Reyna, 19 of 30, 267 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick. Devontae Sapp Lynch, your leading rusher, 7 carries for 21 yards and 1 touchdown, and we'll talk about that too. Drew Dixon, 9 receptions, 145 yards. The wide receivers balled out in this one. 4 touchdowns for Dixon. Ramon Atkins, 19 of 31, 220 yards, 6 touchdowns, no picks. Nolan Susel, 6 carries, 43 yards and 1 touchdown, just kind of aided by his 1 long touchdown rush. And Deshaun Stoudemire, 7 catches, 116 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Again, wide receivers balled out. Taking a look at the team stats on the right side, 2 for 7 for third downs for Tucson. You're not going to convert much and get yourself into fourth down territory, which they did all 5 times, and they converted 3 of them, which I believe 2 of them were the field goals for Kevin Macias. For Northern Arizona, 5 for 9, so over 50%, which I don't mind, and then 1 for 3 on fourth down, which I think one of those was the missed field goal for Michael Hall, but that's what you kind of have here. Taking a look at the total yards, it favors Northern Arizona, but as you guys saw, there was a huge sack on Jorge Reyna, which could have kind of tipped the scales. Maybe not in favor of Tucson, but made it really close. You see the rushing stats there. 15 rushing yards. You probably had more than that if Reyna didn't get sacked for that huge loss. But overall, that's just kind of what you can make stats say. Be like, oh, they didn't rush that well. It kind of took one play to kind of diminish that. Tucson did kind of shoot themselves in the foot, though. Lost a fumble, did throw an interception. Penalties. This is what gets me. The penalty of, was it Darius Johnson that got rejected for, quote, punching someone in the groin, or throwing a punch to the groin, I think is what the ref said. So, yeah, I can't do that. But, even with your interior defensive lineman, which I can't remember if he's the nose guard. I think Mason Newton's the nose guard, but Darius Johnson on the edge. You still lose a defensive lineman. You got to play without him for most of the game. So that kind of sucked for Northern Arizona, but Tucson didn't necessarily take advantage. So, taking a look at some of the notes that I have here for Tucson and Northern Arizona. Susel had that really long run. Other than that, not the best day of rushing for Northern Arizona. The next best rusher was 18 yards for Ramon Atkins. And then kind of the same thing for both sides. In the receiving category, they threw the ball really well, as you can clearly see by the passing yards. Rushing game, which just wasn't working for either side. And Devontae Sapp Lynch had 64 receiving yards out of the backfield, 5 catches, and then Spencer Tears with 45 receiving yards for Tucson. Arlen Bruce, 48 for Northern Arizona on 4 catches, and then Marlon Cook, 44 on 4 catches. Both those guys got touchdowns as well. Marlon Cook actually had 2 touchdowns. So passing game for both sides really worked for both teams. Taking a look at some of the notes I had written down, Northern Arizona starts the game, getting to the 1-yard line, but can't get across. Tucson takes over. Big pass to Dixon. Sapp Lynch runs into the end zone, and they strike first. Wranglers do respond. Marlon Cook wide open and down the sideline for the touchdown. Surprise onside kick. Don't know why. Tucson has great field position. Drew Dixon open on the left side of the end zone, touchdown for the Sugar Skulls. Short possession for Northern Arizona. Big catch for Stoudemire. Arlen Bruce caps it off with a 9-yard touchdown. And there it is. Darius Johnson is ejected for throwing a, quote, punch to the groin. Tucson drive stalls out. Macias nails a 25-yard field goal. Nice drive for Northern Arizona. Work it downfield. Stoudemire rushes it in. Tucson fumbles under a minute to play in the first half. Northern Arizona recovers to try and increase their lead, and they do. 3 plays. Northern Arizona finds pay dirt. Marlon Cook with his second. Sugar Skulls get to midfield. Macias hits another field goal as we hit halftime. Sugar Skulls start the second half backed up by penalties, and they do not convert a 4th down. Wranglers turn that into points. Arlen Bruce on a reverse, and he rushes it in. Spencer Tears has a big catch. Reyna runs it in. Kevin Macias hits a deuce. We have a 7-point game all of a sudden. And then Nolan Susel, 37 yards to the house. Wranglers look really good right now. Tucson comes right back. Drew Dixon with a catch to keep it a 1-possession game. And we just kind of go back and forth. Wranglers passing attack works again. Bruce with another catch. Stoudemire has the touchdown. Tucson has a nice kick return to start their drive. Reyna throws a pick in the end zone, and that kind of is what turned the tide here. Wranglers can't get much. Hall misses a field goal. Sugar Skulls, 1 play, 1 touchdown for Dixon. Deshaun Stoudemire answers right back. 30-yard strike for Deshaun Stoudemire. And then a huge sack for Northern Arizona. Reyna heaves a prayer. Dixon comes down with it. It's a 43-yard receiving touchdown. And it's back to a 7-point game. And then, man, Deshaun Stoudemire, I don't know if this is his career game, but it was a breakout performance. 23-yard touchdown. He had 3 straight receiving touchdowns. And Drew Dixon kind of did the same thing. He had 3 straight receiving touchdowns. It was just back and forth between those two guys. 2 big catches for Sap Lynch. Second catch is a touchdown. It's down to an onside kick. That ultimately Northern Arizona recovers and they hold on. Wranglers get their second win of the season, 61-55. So nice back and forth game, but just a couple of mistakes. Northern Arizona was able to capitalize on it. So one of those things where Tucson, they got close, just couldn't get over the hump. But that's where we have it. Now, let's go check out our bets. We'll move on. Both offenses decided to score some points and decided to bless us with some money. What'd I say? Kevin Guy's getting ready for playoff time. They're going to win at home. Nope. Northern Arizona got their second win, pulled an upset, and, well, minus 7.5 wouldn't have worked anyways. And that is it for our Week 17 Saturday week recap, part 2. I almost said recap, but, you know, that's what my kid would say. Anyway. With that, we are headed to Week 18, if it's not already here already by the time I get this out, which will probably be on a Thursday or Friday right before kickoff, I'm sure. But with that, we do have Week 18 right upon us, and that means we have Green Bay and Massachusetts ready to do battle on Friday, and then a whole slate of games on Saturday, just like this past week, just like Week 17. And yeah, we're just right up against it again. And after this, we can determine if everyone that is already clinched or if there's still 1 or 2 spots that go into the final week of the season. A lot of parity. The number 1 seeds still up for grabs going into this week. We have no idea for a lot of these seeds and where everything's going and who's even clinched and everything. So yeah, buckle up, boys and girls. It's going to be a fun ride. But with that, I'm going to take off here, guys. We get ready for Week 18. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed part 1 in the separate video. And I'm sure you guys have already seen the Vegas recap with that as well. So everything leading up to this, culminating to this point, we got 2 weeks left in the regular season, and then the playoffs are going to start. And then you get sad because there's not a lot of games left, and then you have to wait all the way until March. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. If you feel so inclined and want to leave a like, comment, share, or subscribe, or subscription, I guess, whatever. If you want to do all that, go for it. If not, oh well. Anyway, I'm going to take off here, guys. Love and appreciate every single one of you. Catch you in the previews for Week 18. Till then, see ya.